Yeah.
But yeah, he's awesome.
What's he in Sonic? I love Sonic. I really love those movies.
Yeah, I thought so. I haven't seen the second one. I saw the first one. I liked it.
I like the second one.
Did you
The
with
film was
Knuckles?
good.
I mean, it was good enough. It got a
And
that
Ben
they're doing a third.
Schwartz does a great job as Sonic's voice.
I like Ben
And Jim
Schwartz.
Carrey does a great job as Dr. Eggman.
But he's retired now, so I wonder what they're going to do with that.
They can move on to something else, can't they? Can't Knuckles be like the anti-hero in the next one or something?
Well, they're bringing in Shadow the Hedgehog.
Okay. That'd be cool.
Yeah. So, um, yeah. I mean, I thought the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie was pretty good. I didn't hate it. I couldn't say that I loved it. I thought it was good though.
I love Sonic. I mean, I don't understand the purpose. Well, I guess if you want to make it a movie, make it a movie. But like, I don't understand the purpose of like making it in like human world. Um, but it's it's good for what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that was it. Is it kind of took a kind of a leap into like a different thing, but it did work together really well. And James Marsden was good in it.
Yeah.
And I thought that what they had to work with and how to bring it to an audience that might enjoy it, I thought they did pretty decently. And like some of it doesn't make any sense. Like at one point he's running up and down buildings, and then later when they're like, "Oh, it's up on top of that," we have to sneak up to the top of the building. Why didn't he just run up the building?
But you know what made Sonic work? It was the fans complaining about how they
Yes.
made Sonic look like shit. And the fans were like, what are you doing? He looks like he's got an extra chromosome. And there was a big outcry. And all these turds said, "Oh, stop crying about a cartoon hedgehog." It's like, no, we like Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, people like me and you played Sonic the Hedgehog when we were kids, doing the code to get Golden Sonic and all that stuff. Like, I'd be playing Sonic and my friend be playing Tails, and we'd be playing the whole thing over and over and over again. I don't know how many times I beat Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic's got a special place in my heart, and so they're making a movie. Like, that's a big deal for me. Don't screw this up. And so it's like, and I think that really, like, after getting Sonic right, if you notice, maybe that's what like kicked off this, like, oh, let's get video game movies right.
And that was so great with the outcry that they actually went back and changed it. And they're like, we're going to delay the release of this movie so that we can fix this and do right by the fans.
They did it.
And I give
And
that movie mad props because no other studio would have done that shit.
They did it, and it worked.
And don't worry, Ugly Sonic got his time in the sun with Chip and Dale.
Yes, I remember that.
If you haven't seen Chip and Dale, it's basically the new generation of Roger Rabbit. It's cartoons in the real world, and they're actors and stuff like that. They even make several references to Roger Rabbit. He even shows up in the movie. But they Ugly Sonic comes in as a friend of Dale, and he's kind of a big part of the movie at points. But they bring him in and he's talking about how he got fired from the Sonic movie. It was a fun nod to everything, and it was great. If you haven't seen the Chip and Dale movie, go watch that. It was so awesome. I love that movie.
Peter Pan's like this, like, bad guy douchebag in it, but he's great.
Yeah. So that's actually
who does the voice?
I don't remember. So this is actually kind of a sad story. If you don't know what happened to the guy who
Will Arnett does his voice. That's right.
Yeah, Will Arnett does his voice. So it's actually kind of a sad story because the kid who did Peter Pan's voice in the original cartoon, as he started getting older, studios were rejecting him, saying that he was getting ugly now and pimply and all this, and he ended up, I think he ended up killing himself. And so this was actually a nod to that story, where he grew up to be just kind of like, just went down this dark path, or he like overdosed on drugs. He did something like that, but he went down this like really dark path. And so this was actually not to what happened between him and his career. It's wild. Like, read the story. It's so crazy. Because I didn't realize that until I was reading the IMDb trivia while I was watching the movie, because that's what I do. And they were like talking about how that was a huge thing. So I was like, holy shit. I was like, that makes this even darker. So, but great movie overall. And J.K. Simmons plays the detective, the cartoon detective.
Yeah, and who's that actor that does Dale or Chip's voice, or not Chip, Dale's voice?
Andy Samberg.
No, the other one.
Oh,
that comedian.
that was
That comedian.
Baby J.
Huh?
Yeah, Baby J.
Baby J.
Baby J is what he calls himself.
What's the guy's name?
Gosh, damn it, I don't know.
No, I want to promote him because his newest stand-up on Netflix was the funniest fucking thing, because he talks about
John Mulaney.
John Mulaney. John Mulaney. I think it came out last year. He talks about his recovery from cocaine, and it's the funniest fucking thing I have ever heard. And I'm a drug counselor, and I was laughing so hard my stomach was in pain. I highly recommend watching John Mulaney's cocaine recovery stand up. He's talking about when they do an intervention on him. He has the funniest people in the world looking at him. He's trying to make a joke, and the funniest people in the world just give him the serious look, like no one's laughing at it. And he's trying to get everybody to turn against the interventionist. And he's trying to get everybody to turn against him.
It was. I saw that one. It was good. It was good.
Funny.
That was.
If you haven't seen him, and he just talks about, and it's funny because that's like, he talks about how twisted his brain is on addiction, but like that's really how addiction really twists your brain, and he realizes how twisted your brain is when you are addicted to drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
But it is that when you can make fun of yourself like that, it's just so good.
When he tells that story, it's so funny because he's like talking about how he's like an hour late. He's like, yeah, so he's like, I showed up late to my intervention, and he's like, because I was out buying drugs.
I was like, I don't think when I was watching that, it's probably been years since I laughed that hard.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I laughed that hard since.
It's good. The comedy special is called John Mulaney, Baby J.
Okay.
That's what it was. That's where I was getting the Baby J from.
Okay.
But yeah, excellent show. I think it's on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, give it a watch if you're a big fan of watching stand-up comedy. He's hilarious. He's been doing a lot of work, cartoon voices and everything. Like we just mentioned, Chip and Dale. He also was Spider Pig.
Yeah.
Or Peter Porker in the new Spider-Verse movie.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
Spider-Pig's in the Simpsons.
Yeah, Spider-Pig's in the
Spider-Pig, Spider-Pig.
Oh, man.